Hi ladies, it's Orit Esther Riter here to talk to you about Shana Bet of the Ratzon Chabura. We have learned so much this past year, where some of us are still in the middle of finishing up our last Chabura classes, but it's been an amazing journey, as so many of you women have written to me and have really expressed in detail how the teachings of the Ratzon Chabura have really alterred the way that you all view life, interact with life, see life, embrace life, and the way that life starts to embrace you on a very different pulse. It's really amazing. And what's ahead of us in Shana Bet, in the second year, the Ratzon Chabura, is even deeper, amazing, uplifting material. Because you know what? We've got it all wrong. The whole idea of pleasure, of happiness, which we're going to be learning in Shana Bet, it's the pleasure that leads us. The problem is that we get stuck in that pleasure, in the pleasurable experience, and we forget completely about the fact that it's meant to actually lead us somewhere else. And that's the meaning of the idea of the pleasure trap. You see, we're all in this trap of pleasure. Now, Hashem created the world to give us pleasure, to give His creation, to give His creatures this pleasurable, genuine, eternal experience. But pleasure is really found in one thing, and that's in filling ourselves up with celestial, perfect, wholesome light. But we need to build a proper vessel, a worldly vessel, so we can capture this light. Now the problem is we can't contain this celestial, godly light if we're not properly equipped and aligned to hold it. And in fact, most of our life, we run after all those pleasures that we want to grasp, but we really can't hold them. We can't hold the pleasure. We can't embrace it. We don't have the capacity to feel it. And therefore, so many of us are often left so empty and unfulfilled in life. See, it all began with Adam HaRishon. Adam HaRishon, his transgression is our transgression, and that really continues till today with all of us. Hashem created pleasure, He created joy and delight, but it was meant to be a means to drive us to fulfill our life's mission. But we've kind of traded that pleasure of where it's supposed to be a driving force. We've exchanged the pleasure of the experience and stayed in that pleasure as opposed to it being a call for action. It's supposed to be our life's action plan. And instead, we stay in whatever pleasure we meet and just stay there and then wonder why it doesn't stick with us. Now, Hashem created Yisurim and He created Ta'anugim. He created difficulties and hardships and pain, and He also created delight and joy and happiness. And as we're led through life and we experience those happy, healthy emotions, we are essentially being shown that we're in line with Hashem's Ratzon. But that's if that ta'anug, that simcha stays with us. He wants us to be happy. We're meant to be happy, only happy, but lasting and genuine joy. See, Adam HaRishon missed out on that opportunity. He left it up to us to correct it, but not to exchange sort of like alternative pleasures for genuine, eternal fulfillment. True pleasure comes from godly Ratzon. It's to become godly. It's to be empowered by the abilities that Hashem gave us and to truly become partners of good. But the choice was given to us, and it has to be an equal choice. There's always temptations in the way that the Sitra Achra, the other side, is meant to put in our pathway so that we can always have that choice to choose something else. But essentially, when we receive what Hashem intends for us to receive, we can truly grasp, contain it, embrace it, and enjoy what we have. The only way, though, to really know how to go ahead and build that vessel of ours, there's a shita, there's a system of limud, of learning, and the idea is that needs to become part of our life. And we've already delved into some of that in the first year, and we've learned so many of our blockages through the 10 spheres, and now we're going to get more down and personal. We're going to enter into the 4 elements of the soul, which each one of us possesses: the earth, the water, the air, the fire in us, what pushes us, what grounds us, what lies in our cravings, what carries us away. And how can we settle all of that, all those drives, all of those ratzonot, through all these elements to achieve the real proper balance emotionally and spiritually in our life? This second year, we're going to learn more how to receive what Hashem wants to give us in a way that we can align our form, we can align our vessel to become receivers, but at the same time, to also be givers. So we're going to explore all kinds of different thoughts, like, what's this animal in us? Where does it come from? How does it work? What's the job of the heart anyway? The part of the level of our soul called the ruach that sits in the heart. And which world do we ascend when we attach to that soul essence that we're told of that's in Shemayim? And how do we even get there? So there's all kinds of different levels of the soul. And some of them we're consciously not even able to touch. But hopefully, Be'ezrat Hashem, we will delve into this year such deep concepts about how do we get fed from our soul's root. Because that's really the essence of who we are. Up there is the root, and over here we're living with the branches. So these are just like sort of some of the topics that we're going to be addressing, God willing, in Shana Bet. And we're going to be putting together what we've learned, and we're going to drive forward towards this higher plane of joy. The joy we've experienced till now is not the joy that Hashem really wants us to have, which is genuine, deep felt, vibrational, gut joy. So please join me. I'm looking forward to having you as part of my Chabura once again. We're going to be, again, delving into a lot of practical applications, the meditations. It's all, of course, still Chavruta style learning, sharing, growing together in our Avodat Hashem, in our emotional wellness. And I'm really, really looking forward to having you. You all were and continue to be my Chavruta. Be'ezrat Hashem, I'm really looking forward to having you all join again. Our next Chabura starts on November 25th. Be'ezrat Hashem, send an email to Ratzon Chabura@gmail.com telling us that you'd like to join, and I'm really looking forward to it. Again, it'll be once every 2 weeks on a Sunday, and God willing, as we go from chayil to chayil, strength to strength, we'll all be able to reach a higher level of happiness, of joy, of emotional equilibrium, and really feel settled and wholesome in our spirit and in our body. Looking forward.